Hey, it's Dave Peretz, the Fund CXO and founder of Signal Fund Services. We're going to be explaining how modern day venture firms are being built and how they operate. Our minimum viable venture fund operation series is designed for GPs, LPs, service providers, and the fund operators like myself who operate them. In today's episode, we're going to be talking through how funds actually mature, the phases they go through, the milestones they achieve, going from a fund zero, proof of concept, up and through funds three and four, raising institutional grade capital. But Rome wasn't built in a day. In the Army, my prior life, we used to have a saying: you can't change your plan until you have a plan. So what you're looking at here is a rough plan for how a firm goes from proof of concept up to raising institutional capital. Early on in the fund's life, you're just building out what we're talking about today, this minimum viable venture fund operations. You're trying to prove to LPs that you can put together the basket of assets that you all agreed upon during the fundraising process. You're trying to prove out your hypothesis in the marketplace. As you get into fund two and you stack some of those gains and wins from fund one, now your kind of focus changes for what your back office should be doing. It should be about operationalizing your product market fit. As you take the wins and gains and lessons learned from fund one, starting to understand where you fit into the marketplace, you add in new LPs who can bring commercial opportunities to your portfolio. You bring in new team members to help add value or to help source new deals. And then ultimately, you continue to build and expand this portfolio and coverage you have in the marketplace. And again, as you move into fund three and you stack those wins again and you get some more resources, the focus switches and your back office becomes about those prior parts, right? Doing the job well, but it's also helping you establish strategic differentiation in the marketplace, right? How do you fit into the portfolio of those institutional LPs that are thinking about how venture and how private equity and how private markets fit into a broader kind of mandate that they have? And all throughout this process, we're going to be explaining the people, the process, the technologies that are behind each of these different phases and different milestone achievements. The best that I've seen do this, though, follow a very simple crawl, walk, run methodology, right? And it's all about building good behaviors and discipline in your business processes before you start adding on the complexity of new tools and new teammates, right? So early on, it's about getting good, clean data. It's about making sure you hit those deadlines with your LPs for reporting and for tax and compliance matters. It's about being a good partner to founders in the deal close process and making sure that you're always ready and available to do what you need to as a manager. And as you move in, you get comfortable with those first kind of processes and behaviors, start adding in the complexity, more people, more tools. But what you want to avoid, where these two big red X's live, is the classic example: spending lots of money on a CRM and then never using it or updating it, right? If you can't do it in Excel and Airtable, you're going to struggle with a really expensive CRM tool. So focus on the good behaviors and practices early on, and you'll succeed later down the road. If you got questions about this journey, we're here to help. Dave at signalfundservices.com. See you out there.